All right, so you can see this thing, the paint on here is just super oxidized. I mean, you can just hear how rough it is. So I got me one of those super cool giant angle grinder buffers, and you can't go to Duct Tape Drags without, you know, cleaning her up a little bit. I mean, God forbid you have bad paint there. It's just stuff was sitting on it. I was pushing it around with greasy hands. The other thing we got to worry about, but that's for later because we care about aesthetics first, is how we're gonna hide all of these holes in the floor pan. I mean, you can see I could probably just like break out a bunch of this, so we have to somehow creatively hide that, because I'm definitely not going to get those fixed because it's Sunday and we're leaving Tuesday. And then this battery is actually working pretty good. It looks like crap, but it's working. So you need to find a way to hold that down. That's one of the requirements to race. So we'll plug the holes or cover them up. I'm thinking I'll probably just throw the old carpet back over and hope they don't notice. Or just put the other seat back in, which, yeah, might just put a seat back in. That should cover those up. Well, maybe not. We'll find out though. So yeah, but before all that, we're gonna clean this bad boy up. Bust out the buffer. So before I go power buffing it, I'm going to try some of this SOS pad stuff on here. It's because I've seen this on YouTube. This car's already got some patina starting to happen, but this might actually buff it out halfway decent. That didn't work too bad. So I'm actually thinking these SOS pads are the way to go, and I might just put some wax on it. So I'm probably gonna do that. It's really making the patina look good. It's kind of hard to see before, but really brought the patina out on the hood. I'll probably only do the front end like this, maybe lightly on the rest of the car, but I'm gonna do this and then probably buff it just to get some shine out of the paint. It's coming along pretty good. All right, definitely looks a lot better after the SOS pad thing, but I'm gonna try buffing it out a little bit now. You know what really pisses me off? Stefan. I hate that guy. The camera is running, so. All right. All right. Yeah, pretty shiny, huh? Huh? it's actually shiny again. So I'm just gonna continue to go over the entire car, and then we'll see how she turns out. I'm surprised you know what it is. A lot of people call it a Datsun.
Yeah, I grew up around Volkswagens. My stepfather always restored them. My dream car is a 65 Squareback.
Oh yeah?
Yep. We were riding a couple of weeks ago and we rode by and you had it in the garage.
Yeah.
And I saw it from the front. I couldn't tell it was a Fastback, but now that it's out, I was like, oh, okay.
Had to pull the car inside because it got too dark. What I use, I had a neighbor that told me to use this once and it seems to work really good. This Meguiar's Ultimate Compound, and I just buy it over at like O'Reilly's. But it actually does what it shows on the picture. It works fucking badass. So if you want your car to be fucking badassly polished, then get some Meguiar's Ultimate Compound. I have used this a gajillion times. Doesn't seem to be super aggressive, but I don't know. This is what I really like. I've never really seen the same result from other stuff. So, oh no! And it loves to stain things, so don't leave it freaking sitting on your paint and dry, or it's definitely kind of soaks in. Like if you left a blob sitting on this paint and then the next day we're like, oh shit, and then try to wash it off, it would like, that one blob would look like different than the rest of your paint forever. And I know, because I've done that. I don't like to talk when I'm filming outside and my neighbor's out there because he's kind of like a drunk. And I don't really want to explain to him what I'm doing. I think this thing's pretty much toast. It's starting to just get like lint everywhere. I've also got this foam thing that I could probably just try. Let's see what that does. Ooh, man. Boy, this gets really hot. That I do not like. I'm gonna go put another little pad on this thing because I'm not loving how this thing's getting super hot. I don't want to start doing naughty things to my paint. My beautiful paint. Oh, naughty, naughty. These things just like don't really go on. I did get them from a certain hardware store that has a reputation for cheap Chinese products. There we go. Maybe they just fit tight. It's also where I got this Warrior giant angle grinder polishing wheel thing. That was pretty good on the sides here. Gotta hit the roof. So I'll show you something kind of interesting, and it's coming out on this car. On these old Volkswagens in the factories, they the guys who would paint these cars by hand, because I mean this is back when robots didn't do this shit, would actually like sign their names under the paint. So if you kind of look, I can't really read this one. There's like a signature right here in the corner of the roof. So it's kind of interesting, or they put dates. So that's what that is. You can see, I guess you can see 6, 7 something. So yeah, it's kind of interesting fact. All right, let's do this funky shit. Gonna give it the good little smear. Gotta wipe the extra off, but man, it's a huge difference on the roof. Oh yeah. All right, come on around the other side here. I've always done this by hand. This is definitely a lot easier in the arms, but I don't know that it's doing as good of a job. Alright, that's a hell of a lot better. It's a little smudgy still, just because the stuff sort of dried, but I can fix that. I'll do a little bit by hand. I just don't like to get that angle grinder thing against this rubber, or it like leaves black streaks everywhere. And this paint is so dry, it just kind of like soaks that streaky stuff up. This says 211-67045-420-91 or something like that. I don't know. Still can't read it, but it's definitely kind of a cool patina thing that you can actually see the like numbers coming through. This patina on this thing is actually really super beautiful. I always thought I was going to paint this car. But after seeing how awesome the patina is coming out on this thing, after just doing this buff, I think this needs to be preserved. I mean, this thing's kind of sexy looking. There's a few places where it got hit and like resprayed, but fuck, I think I'm gonna leave it. My plexiglass windshield's holding up. That's good. I think she'll make it. Well, the camera died. Well, actually it didn't die. I filled the SD card. I don't have another one until I see Stefan tomorrow, but I've got this waxed up, and as you can see, that's where I wiped the wax off. This paint is cleaning up super awesome. So just wipe off the old wax. I mean, that looks pretty damn good. So I've got to do the whole car now because I've got it all waxed up. But here's another spot where I just tested it, but it looks pretty awesome. I've also got the wheels off, and some of the wheel studs came out, so I gotta re-put those in. But I've got the tires loaded up in my truck over there. Don't look at my junk and my goldfish here. But I've got the tires loaded up, so I'm gonna get 2 new tires tomorrow. The rears are like these really nice Toyo Proxy something or others that are like race tires, so those I'm not gonna replace. But yeah, so tomorrow I'll get some new tires for the fronts. Hopefully that was what the issue was, because I kind of wiggled things around down here and couldn't find anything super wrong. I mean, this all needs to be gone through, and someday I will, but for right now it's just about getting it functioning. So I hope that it was just like that cracked tire or something making this thing out of balance, because it didn't used to be like that, but maybe that tire had a flat spot, or the sidewall was kind of splitting, and you know, I don't know. So we'll see, but I'm gonna finish cleaning this up, and then we'll see if I've got enough time. I have to be to work at 3:30 tomorrow morning, because I've got a terrible job, but maybe we can figure something out for the holes in the floor too. But anyways, working on making it look good here in the garage. Okay, so I've got the car waxed. It's not perfect. but it definitely looks pretty good for how it was. There's no more like greasy handprints, which might have actually gotten me some street cred at Duct Tape Drags, but that's okay. So anyways, now we got to do something about these holes in the floor. I might actually be able to hold this battery down. You can't really see. You can kind of see it down there. This little bolt down there like holds down the battery with like a piece of metal. So I'm gonna do that. But if they don't like that, then I'm probably gonna like bring a piece of band from work, from like a pallet, like steel banding, and then just drill a hole in it and sink a screw into the floor on the other side. So bolt it on one side and screw it on the other side, and that'll be my hole down if they don't like that one. But for these holes here, I did message the Dragway or the Tucson Raceway or whatever, and they did not want me to have these holes, which I think is kind of sissy personally. I mean, come on. So I'm gonna put a little fix in here, and we're gonna see how real they are about duct tape drags. We're gonna see if Tucson Dragway are real ones. All right, phase one is complete. We vacuumed up all the loose chunks, so now it's just good solid metal with lots of integrity. Step two, we gotta plug up these holes. We gotta do a little bit of patchwork, and you know, a lot of guys think that you have to have, you know, welder and, you know, body skills and match everything up right. But it's really as easy as having a piece of steel that covers up. Let's see. Does it? Yeah, it does. A piece of steel that you set your welder up on, that'll cover up the holes. So that's step two. Now we have to fasten this in place, and this is where the real skill comes in. This is where we tie everything we've done here all together. Oh. Now let me tell you, that's fabrication. I'm gonna if they don't let me race with a piece of metal duct tape to cover up the holes in my floor, then, I mean, is it really Duct Tape Drags, and do I really want to race there? I mean, if you're gonna name it that, you gotta fucking back that shit up. So I'll probably bring a drill and some self-tappers in case they don't like this. But I mean, I think she's sturdy. I mean, just gonna I think she's gonna go. Well, I think that's it for tonight. I'm gonna go get some tires tomorrow. I could probably clean the windows because they're really hard to see out of, just because they've been sitting for a long time. I gotta bolt the seat belts back in, but I think this is about all I'm gonna do for tonight. It ran today. It did good. I don't see any reason why this thing isn't gonna go. We got her all packed up and we're heading on out. But we're gonna see what they say about my super cool self-tapper ratchet strap thing. But I mean, this battery not going anywhere, man. I think she's race ready.
Better stays together. Alan Walcott and Reagan Walcott.